Samasitihi. Welcome, everyone. So let's start at the top of our mats. Good. If you want, you can close the eyes as we begin, allowing the attention to settle into the body, feeling the feet rooting down, the base of the feet spreading, the legs engaging, lifting the kneecaps, feeling the tailbone and the pubic bone moving down and towards each other as the spine rises out of the pelvis as a counteraction to that, as you keep reaching up through the crown of the head. Good. Roll the shoulders back and down to spread across the collarbones. Take a deep breath in with the tone in the vocal cords as you root down through the feet. And as you exhale, lift and expand from the heart. Just take one more like that. Inhale, pressing down through the feet. And exhale, reaching up and rising out through the crown of the head. We'll bring the palms to heart center. Start with the opening mantra. You can join or just listen. Take a deep breath in. Vande Gurunam Charanaravinday Sandarshita Swatma Sukhavabode Nishreyase Jangali Kayamane Samsara Hala Hala Mohashantye Abahu Purushakaram Shankachakrasi Dharinam Sahasra Shirasam Shwetam Pranamami Patanjalim. And bringing the hands back down, opening the eyes, and we'll start with Surya. That's good, yeah. Start with Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, bring the arms over your head, palms touch. Exhale, fold, easy forward fold, bend the knees if you need to. Inhale, half lift, reach the heart forward. Exhale, step or jump back into a high plank, bend the elbows, lower the knees to modify. Inhale, upward facing dog, point the toes, lift the heart. Exhale into downward facing dog. Good. Easy down dog, bend the knees if you need to. And settle into the breath. So just using this moment to acknowledge the start of your practice and feel into this space. Feel into this different kind of awareness, of having the attention inwards. Matching the length of the inhales to the length of the exhales, and bringing a tone to the vocal cords for your Ujjayi breath. And notice as the breath begins to lengthen. On your next exhale, fully exhale. Gaze to the front, step or jump to the top of the mat into half lift, lengthening. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, come to stand, pressing down, reaching up, palms press. Exhale into Samasitihi. Again like that. Inhale, arms over your head, press down through the feet. Exhale, fold, drawing the lower belly in, relax the neck. Inhale, half lift, press the feet down. Exhale, step or jump back, lower the knees if you need to, draw the lower belly in as you bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog, maybe lifting the thighs. Exhale, downward facing dog. Settling into the body, into the breath. Drawing the lower belly in. As you allow the rib cage and all around the rib cage to expand and contract with the breaths. Good. Just a couple more here. On your next exhale, fully exhale. And at the bottom, bend the knees, drop the tailbone, gaze forward, step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale as you lengthen into half lift. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, come to stand, press down, pubic bone, tailbone, moving down towards each other in the center. Exhale, Samasthiti. Inhale, arms over your head, moving with the breath. Exhale as you fold, fully exhaling. Inhale into half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Keep the lower belly drawn in, the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, upward facing dog. Lift the heart up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Settling here, spreading the fingers wide, pressing through the base of the pointer finger. Good. And feel the breath moving in and out. Find a dristi, somewhere to rest the gaze, soft gaze. On your next exhale, fully exhale. Bend the knees, drop the tailbone, gaze forward, step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale as you lengthen, press through the feet. Exhale as you fold, draw the lower belly in. Inhale, come to stand, pressing down to reach up. Exhale, Samasthiti. One more, Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, fold, fully exhaling. Inhale into half lift, lengthening. Exhale, step or jump back, slowly bend the elbows. Inhale, lift the heart, reach the toes back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. You're okay. Deep, steady breaths. And use the sound of the breath to focus the mind and turn the attention inwards. Releasing the soft palates, releasing any excess tension in the throat. Let's take one more breath. Fully exhaling. Step or jump to the top of the mat, lengthening. Exhale, fold, fully exhale. Inhale, come to stand, press down. Reach up, wrap the shoulder blades. Exhale, Samasthiti. Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, take a free breath. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, lift the heart, palms press. Exhale, fold, straightening the legs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Fully exhale at the bottom of the plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot forward. Lower the back heel. Inhale, come up. Virabhadrasana, palms press. Exhale, come back down. Keep the lower belly drawn in as you bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Deep breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot forward, lower the back heel. Inhale, come up. Remember, you can take extra breaths through the sequence if you need to. Exhale, come back down. Step back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. Deep, steady breath, settling into this. Establishing the breath, even inhales and exhales. Reaching the sit bones up and back. So you're creating length between the hips and the hands. One more breath. Fully exhaling. Step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, bend the knees. Lift the heart, drop the tailbone. Exhale, Samasthiti. Again, inhale, deep breath in. Exhale as you sink the hips down. Inhale as you lift the heart. Exhale, fold, straightening the legs as much as you can. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Without rushing through the sequence, right foot forward. Inhale, come up, keep bending into the right knee. Exhale, come back down. Step back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot forward. Press both feet down and away from each other as you rise up. Strong legs. Exhale. Step back. You can lower the knees to modify anytime. Inhale, upward facing dog. Deep breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Or if you need to rest a little bit more, half down dog or child's pose. Deepen the breath and lengthen the breath. And feel from that the heat building from the inside out. Good, just a couple more breaths here. On your next exhale, fully exhale. Bend the knees, drop the tailbone, gaze forward. Step or jump to the top. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, draw the lower belly in. Inhale, bend the knees, draw the lower belly in. Reach the arms over your head. Exhale, samasthiti. Good. Let's move on. Panagustasana, bring the feet hip width distance apart. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward, catch the big toes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Good, and point the elbows out towards the side. And then think about reaching the elbows away from each other as you press through the four corners of each foot. Lift the kneecaps, legs are strong. And gently reach the crown of the head towards the ground. Good, let's take one more breath here, drawing the lower belly in. On your next inhale, straighten the arms, lift the heart. Exhale, slide the hands underneath the feet for Padahastasana. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold forward into the space. Good, keep the breath moving. Up through the legs, inhale into the space of the pelvis. And as you exhale, down along the spine, as you release the muscles along the spine. Good. One more breath. Keep the legs strong. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, come all the way up to the top. Exhale into samasthiti. Now we're going to do the more conventional standing postures today. So inhale, step the right foot back. Arms out to the side for Trikonasana. Exhale, pivot the right toes towards the back of the mat and move into Trikonasana A. Right hand to your shin, onto a block. Catch the big toe, hands on the floor. Wherever you need to place that right hand to really find that strength through the legs, pressing the feet down and away from each other, and keeping the torso over the right leg as much as you can, without closing the heart. Keep opening across the collarbones as you reach up through that left hand. One more breath here. Draw the lower belly in, smooth breath. And on your next inhale, you're going to press down to come up, pivot the feet. As you exhale, move into the left side. And see how much you can reach up through that right hand so you're not dumping the weight into the left hand. Good. Strong legs, pressing the feet down and away from each other and slightly dropping the tailbone towards the back of the mat. Good. Roll the shoulders away from the ears to keep the spine lengthening out of the pelvis. Smooth, steady breaths. Good. One more breath here. On your next inhale, press down to come up. Trikonasana B, exhale, pivot around, face the back of the mat, square the hips and the shoulders, and as you exhale, reach forward, bring the left hand down to either the inside of the foot or the outside of the foot. And it can be the hand on the block or on the floor. Press the left hand down to move the torso into a twist and reach the right arm up. Good, and now check in with the feet. Make sure that you're evenly pressing down through both feet, and then press the feet down and away from each other to clip the right hip back and towards the midline as you reach the heart forward and up. Good, settle into this. Draw the lower belly in and smooth out the edges of the breath. On your next exhale, gaze down for balance. Inhale as you come out of it. Pivot around to the front. Exhale into the other side. Inside of the foot or outside of the foot. And twist the spine. Come into the breath. Feel into your foundation, pressing the feet down and away from each other as you reach the heart forward and up. Create length and then twist into that space. Steady breath. On your next exhale, gaze down for balance. Inhale, come up, open to the side. Exhale into Samasthiti. Uttita Parshvakonasana. Inhale, step the right foot back. Wider stance. Exhale, pivot the right toes, bend into the right knee. Right hand comes to the outside of the right foot, onto the floor, onto the block. Or the forearm comes to the thigh. Left arm over your head. Strong legs. Press the feet down and lift the thighs away from the floor. And then feel the spine lengthening effortlessly out of the pelvis as you slightly drop the tailbone. Spin the heart up towards the ceiling without arching the back. Good, and now feel that connection between the left pinky and the outside edge of the left foot. Move them away from each other. On your next inhale, slowly come out, straighten the right leg, pivot the toes, left toes towards the front. Exhale, bend into the left knee and move into the left side. Starting from the ground up. Feel the space in the front of the pelvis, draw the lower belly in. Good, and without straining the neck, gaze towards the right fingers, but if not, just gaze to the side. Good. Bend into that left knee a little bit more as you keep it over the left ankle. On your next inhale, come up. Exhale, pivot around, face the back of the mat into Parshvakonasana B. You can keep that back knee lifted or lower it to the floor. Exhale, twist over to the right. So you're either going to bring the left elbow to the right thigh, hands in prayer. Or for the deeper expression, bring the outside of the left shoulder to the outside of the right knee. Arm over your head. And maybe you're picking up that back knee to challenge the balance. Keep clipping that right sit bone back and towards the midline so you're creating space between the right hip and the rib cage. Breathing deeply all around the torso, all around the rib cage. On your next exhale, gaze down. Inhale, coming out of it with control. Exhale, other side. Take your time moving into this, rounding the spine, dropping the tailbone as you move into the twist. Deep breaths. And since the front of the body isn't as available, see if you can breathe into the side body or the back body, maintaining those long, steady breaths. Where can you relax for one more breath? Bend into the left knee a little bit more. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, coming out of it, open to the side, reach out through the arms. Exhale into Samasthiti. Prasarita Padottanasana. Inhale, step the right foot back, feet parallel to each other, hands to the hips. Exhale, hands to the floor, fingertips pointing forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold crown of the head towards the mat. Good. Stay there. Keeping the legs strong, pressing through the feet, lifting the kneecaps. Drawing the lower belly in. For one more breath. Inhale, straighten the arms, lift the heart. Exhale, hands to the hips. Inhale, come all the way up to the top. Exhale there. B, inhale, reach the arms to the side. Exhale, hands back to your hips. Inhale, take a deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward, keep the hands on the hips. Keep the breath smooth and steady. And watch the breath as it moves up and down along the spine. Good. Maybe shift the weight forward a little bit. Good. Good. Pointing the elbows up to spread across the collarbones. On your next inhale, rise all the way back up to the top, exhaling there. C, inhale, reach the arms to the side. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, deep breath in, move the hands away from the body. Exhale, fold forward. Prostrate Padottanasana C, as you allow the hands to move away from the body. Good. Keep the legs strong so that the torso, shoulders, and neck can relax and release. Good. One more breath. On your next inhale, rising all the way back up, press through the feet, exhaling at the top. Last one here, hands to the hips, inhale. Exhale, fold forward, catch the big toes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Crown of the head to the mat, and the elbows point straight up towards the ceiling. You can bend the knees here if you need to. Or if you need to get closer to the floor, widen the stance. Keep the breath moving. Long and steady. Inhale, lift the heart, straighten the arms. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, come all the way up to the top. Exhale into Samastitihi, top of the mat, feet together. Parsvottanasana, bring the hands into reverse prayer. So either palms together behind the back or fists together behind the back. Step the right foot back, face the back of your mat. Exhale, fold over the right leg, keeping both legs straight. Maybe micro bending the knee so that you can press further down into the ground through both feet. Lift the elbows, spread the collarbones, keep the heart reaching towards the right toes. One more breath, smooth breath. And on your next inhale, press down to come up, pivot around, face the front. Exhale, fold over the left leg, squaring the shoulders over the left leg, pressing evenly down through both feet. Maybe releasing any tension in the neck, drawing the lower belly in. Come into the breath. Be with this posture. Be with the breath. On your next inhale, coming out of it, opening to the side, releasing the hands. Exhale into Samastitihi. Inhale, arms over your head, palms touch. Exhale, fold. Inhale into half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Deep breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump both feet forward into a squat. Good. If you need a little bit of help in the squat, you can sit onto a block. Or you can roll up the mat and put the rolled mat underneath the heels. Then we're going to twist over to the left first. So we're going to bring the torso over to the over to the left side of the thighs. And then you have two options. You can either just bring the right elbow to the outside of the left thigh, bring the hands in prayer, move into the twist. Or you can go for the full bind, wrapping that right arm around both shins and taking the bind. No worries if you can't bind. This is a difficult posture. Good. Just a couple more breaths wherever you are. See if you can reach the heels down towards the floor as you lift the hips up and drop the tailbone. All those actions at the same time. One more breath. Drop the heels, lift the hips, drop the tailbone. Exhale, release. Nice. And then moving to the other side, creating space and length as you move into it. If it's your first time working with Pushasana, you could just sit on a block, bring the elbow to the outside of the thigh, hands in prayer. Yeah. And then just settle into this supinate twist, dropping the tailbone, reaching the heels towards the floor, even if they don't touch the floor. And then breathe into this. Good. God, just one more breath. Nice. So good. Exhale, release. You're falling. It's hard to find your balance there. All right, inhale, lift up or just step or jump back into a plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through. And you're going to jump through to Tirang Mukha Akapata Paschimottanasana. So first we're going to do a primary series posture. So you're going to fold the right foot back like this so that the foot is next to the hip. And if there's a lot of pressure in the knee, then you can sit up onto a block or a bolster. And then we're just going to fold forward first, like in the primary series. So inhale, catch the left foot or anywhere along the left leg and fold forward. And keep trying to move that right hip back so that both sit bones are on the floor, or you're moving in that direction. It's okay if the right sit bone doesn't actually touch the floor for now. And you're reaching the heart forward. Good. Yeah, and if you need, you can have the hands on the floor alongside the left leg. Deep breaths. Good. On your next inhale, look up. Exhale there. Now we're going to move into Kranchasana. So release the left foot and sit up straight. And then you're going to drop the tailbone, lean back a little bit, bend the left knee and catch the left foot. Or the left ankle. Depends on your hamstring flexibility. And then you're going to straighten the leg as much as you can. And then you're going to start to pull the left leg towards you. So it's Tirang Mukha just with a different perspective. Maybe you're catching the wrist behind the foot. That's really deep. So it's okay if we just need to hold on to the foot or the ankle. Good. And once you're here, you're dropping the tailbone and lifting the heart. I'm bringing the leg towards you. So you're not towards your chin, I should say. You're not bringing the chin towards the shin. So it's okay if they don't touch. Nothing exciting happens when they touch. Draw the lower belly in for one more breath. Inhale, straighten the arms, look up. Exhale there. Good, let's take a vinyasa. Inhale, make your way into a plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. Let's do that on the other side. So left knee is bent, right leg is straight. Inhale, catch the right foot. Exhale, fold. Remember, if there's a pressure in the knee, elevate the hips. Good, stay there. Keep moving that left hip back towards the mat. Did you do this side on first? Yeah. Now, yeah, other left side. Good. Keep the right leg strong. One more breath. Inhale, look up. Exhale there. Release the foot. You lean back a little bit, drop the tailbone, pick up the right leg with the knee bent, and then see how straight can you get that right leg. And then gently start to draw the leg towards you. So you're closing the front of the right hip. So good. And now see if there's any extra tension or excess tension in the neck. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Good. Looking at the toes. But if that's too much strain on the neck, then just gaze wherever. Good. One more breath here. Inhale, straighten the arms, look up. Exhale there. Release the foot. Inhale, make your way into a plank. Exhale into Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift into a high plank. Exhale, bend the elbows, come all the way down to your stomach. We're going to do Shalabhasana. So bringing the feet together and the hands alongside the body with the palms facing up. Inhale, bring the feet together, and we're going to lift the feet up and back as you reach the heart forward and up. Good. Stay here. You're reaching the heart and the toes away from each other, and you're engaging the muscles in the back. Keep the collarbones, the heart spread and open. One more breath here, and we're going to go straight into B. So stay lifted, flip the hands, and bring the hands to Chaturanga Dandasana arms. Press the hands down and back to reach the heart forward even more, so you're creating space between the rib cage and the hips. Good, and keep reaching the toes away from the heart. So you're creating space as you lift into the back bend. One more breath. Good. And as you exhale, tuck the toes and lift up into Chaturanga Dandasana, like if you went to the bottom of the plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, again, shift into the high plank. Exhale, slowly bend the elbows to your stomach. Okay. So with me, we're going to do Eka Bikasana. So you're going to bring the left forearm across the mat to prop the chest up. And then you're going to bend the right knee, and then reach back with your right hand with the palm facing out, and you're going to catch the foot from the arch side of the foot and start to bring the foot towards the outside of the right hip. If you get to a point of flexibility, somewhere around where the right heel is pretty close to the right hip, then you can start to flip the grip, where you spin the fingers forward and point the elbow up. But you need a certain level of flexibility in order to do that. And then from there, you can keep pressing the foot towards the outside of the right hip. So we're stretching the quad muscle. And if you want to deepen this a little bit, you can tuck the left toes, lift the left knee, keep pressing the foot down as you lift the right knee up. Good. One more breath. Exhale, release that. Good. Let's do the other side. So then the right forearm is in front of us, propping the chest up. Bend the left knee, reach back, palm facing out, catch the arch side of the left foot. Start to bring that foot towards the glutes as you keep lifting the heart, and then maybe you flip the grip. So the fingertips point forward and the elbow points up. So it's like the palm of the hand is at the base of the big toe. Keep pressing it towards the outside of the left hip. And then if you want to go deeper, tuck the right toes, lift the knee, and lift the left knee up as you keep reaching the heart forward and up. Good. Deep breaths. One more. Exhale, release. Good. Let's come down. Let's release that for a moment. So come all the way down to lie down. And then come back into a Sphinx position. And let's just do a lifted Sphinx here for a moment. So you're going to press the palms into the mat. They're towards the corners of the mat. Inhale, lift the heart. Keep the pelvis on the floor. Good. Keep the legs strong so you're pressing the tops of the feet into the mat. And then as you press the hands down into the mat, draw the elbows in as you pull the hands towards the hips to reach the rib cage away from the hips. Draw the lower belly in. Elbows in, shoulders down. One more breath. Keep pressing the hands down and towards you to lengthen the front of the body. Good. Tuck the toes. Come down, move the hands back a little bit, and move back into downward facing dog. All right. One more back bend from our stomachs. Inhale, shift into a high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Bend the knees. Reach back, palms facing in this time. Catch the ankles. I like to start with my feet flexed for this one, Dhanurasana. Inhale, start to straighten the legs, kicking the feet, and lift the heart. And now, start to move. Yeah, you can do that again. Start to move the thighs away from the floor. And now, if you feel space in the lower back, start to bring the feet together and point the toes. Good. For 3 more breaths, keep kicking the feet like you're straightening the legs. For 2 deep breaths. Good. And 1, release that. Good. Tuck the toes, hands next to your chest. Pop up into Chaturanga, bottom of the plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come to your knees for Ustrasana. All right. How we doing? We getting warm yet? For those of us in cold places? No, that doesn't apply to us. Okay. So you have lots of options in Ustrasana. You can either interlace the fingers and just lift the heart. You can tuck the toes, bring the hands to the heels, untuck the toes, bring the hands to the feet. You can also bring the hands to blocks. So however you need to move into it, let's all move into it together. Inhale, deep breath in as you lift the rib cage away from the hips. Exhale as you shift the hips forward. So as you move into it, keep creating length through the front of the body without compressing the back body. How can you move into it? By keeping length through the front without closing the back. Take your time, and once you're there, draw the lower belly in and feel like someone's lifting you from between the shoulder blades, lifting you up towards the ceiling. And then maybe see if you can gently squeeze the knees in towards each other. 1 more breath. On your next inhale, come out of it the same way you came in. Good. Sit onto your heels. Take a moment here. If you want, you can even come into a squat. Good. All right, let's take a vinyasa. Inhale, lift up, or just step back into plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's jump both feet forward into a squat. So I skipped everybody's favorite posture, 2 of everybody's favorite posture, Lagavajrasana and Kapotasana. Sorry if that's actually your favorite posture, but it's taste of second series. All right, we're gonna go into Bakasana. So if you wanna work with blocks with Bakasana, 2 ways you can work with blocks. Use a block to put your feet on from the squat. And then you can also put a block in front of you if you're just like scared of falling over, something to put your head on. All right, so you're gonna bring your hands shoulder width apart. Your feet can be on blocks or on the floor. And then you're gonna lift the hips. Hands are shoulder width apart. Spread the knees so they come just to the outsides of the arms, above the elbows. Slightly bend the elbows. And so we're here. You can just really establish a lot of the foundation just being here by keeping the elbows in, squeezing the knees in, and shifting the weight forward. And then at some point, you shift the weight forward enough so that the feet can lift, either one foot or both feet. But once the feet lift, you really need to stabilize the shoulders. Press through the shoulder blades. Draw the lower belly in and keep rounding all along the spine. Good. If you fall out, just come back in. We'll be here for a couple more breaths. Keep pressing through the shoulders, squeezing the knees in, and lifting the heels towards your butt. And now when you're ready, see if you can jump back, either both feet or one foot at a time. Nice. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay. Bakasana B. This one's fun. So if you want, you can watch me first. Or you can try Bakasana A again, if you want something to do. So Bakasana B is jumping into Bakasana from downward facing dog. So we can ease into this by shortening the dog as much as we need to. And then bend the knees, open the knees, shift back, bend the elbows, and just hop into it. It can be a super tiny hop where you lift the feet. And so the trick here is to lift the feet as fast as you can and come into the hands. If you're still working on the foundation of A, then just go back to A and do it, moving into it like a normal way, not jumping into it. Good. And then little by little, you can widen the down dog. Sometimes people put a pillow in front of them to take that fear away of falling forward. Good. Let's try a couple more times. Just little hop, little hop, little hop. And you start already in your mini down dog with the elbows bent and the knees apart. So you're in position. Okay. Whenever you're ready, jump back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Nice. Lift the heels, lift the heels, lift the heels. Nice. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated, and straighten the legs. Good. All right, let's bend the right knee. We're going to do Marchasana C. We're going to twist over to the right. You're going to twist over to the right, keep the left leg straight, and you can either bring the left elbow, you can either hug the knee and just have this right hand behind you, keeping the spine straight. You can bring the elbow to the outside of the knee, or you can go for the bind. And that's part of your practice. And just breathing into this twist. Good. See if you can move this knee to the side so it's not collapsing into the midline. And that's going to automatically take you deeper. Good. Just one more breath wherever you are. And then exhale, release that. And now we're going to move from this posture, we're going to move straight into Ardha Matsyendrasana. So take that right foot and cross it over the left leg. And then you're going to lean over to the left and bend the left knee. And when you place the hip back down, the left foot is going to be next to the right hip. So both hips, both sit bones are on the floor. And then this right heel is approximately aligned with the left knee. The right heel is aligned with the left knee. It gets confusing because there's like your lefts and your rights are crossing. So like really have to think about lefts and rights. Okay, and now same thing, we're just going to twist over to the right. So same thing, you can either hug the right knee, you can have the elbow on the outside of the right knee, or you can reach down so the outside of the left shoulder makes contact with the outside of the right knee, and reach around to catch the arch of the left foot. of the right foot. Sorry. Or just have the elbow on the outside of the knee, pressing the elbow against the knee and the knee against the elbow. And we're in a twist, Ardha Matsyendrasana. If you're reaching down to catch the arch, you can also bring that right arm around towards the left hip crease. Good. One more breath wherever you are. And exhale, release. Good. Let's take a vinyasa. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, jump back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's jump through to seated. And let's do the left side. So bend the left knee, first it's Sumaricasana C. Exhale, twist over to the left. Any version you're working with. Keep that right leg strong. Breathing deeply. Try not to let that left knee collapse in towards the midline. Gently press that left knee out to the side and press the right arm back against the left leg. So the right elbow and the left leg are pushing against each other to deepen us into the twist. All right, on your next exhale, release that. Bring that left foot across over the right leg. Bend the left knee. Place both sit bones on the floor. So both sit bones are on the floor. The right foot is next to the left hip. Good. And that left heel is next to the right knee. Again, twist to the left. Whatever version you're working with. This is the deepest expression, but not necessary. And you're gazing over the left shoulder. How can you keep the breath deep and steady in this posture? Good. One more breath. Exhale, release. Good. Cross the shins. Inhale, lift up or roll over the ankles. Exhale, jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's come down to our knees. So, I'm skipping. Trying to think, I'm going to skip. Let's come through to seated. But I would say I'm going to skip the hip stuff. I'm like, I don't want to skip all the hip stuff. So let's just do one hip thing that's symmetrical, since we just did a lot of asymmetrical things. And bring the feet into like a diamond shape. And if you want to deepen this, you can place the feet onto a block. Good. Or 2 blocks. They can just be on the floor. And we're just going to, really simple, just forward fold. And if we're on the block, you can start to dive through the legs. Maybe even bringing the shoulders underneath the knees. So we're kind of approximating a Supta Kurmasana. Just kind of getting into the hips just a little bit. With something that's symmetrical. Good. And then see if you can actively move the knees towards the floor as you keep reaching the heart forward. Good. Inhale, come up. And now bring the feet really close into you. Go ahead and take another deep breath in to lengthen the spine. And then exhale, fold forward and reach the heart forward. So normally in second series, this is where all the leg behind the head stuff would come. Good, and then if you want, you can reach the arms forward onto your fingertips to help you keep lengthening the spine. It's like you're crawling the fingers forward to create lots of space between the rib cage and the hips. If that's too much, then you can also just bring the elbows to the floor and then use the elbows as traction to reach the heart forward. Good, just a couple more breaths here. Inhale. That was a little bit quicker than a couple of breaths, but come up. Exhale there. Good, let's take a vinyasa. Cross the shins, lift up. Exhale, jump back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, now come to your knees. Okay. So we're just going to do 2 more strength-based postures, and then we'll go into our closing sequence. So first we're going to do Pinchamayurasana. So we're going to bring the palms onto the floor, the elbows onto the floor. And before we come up, see if you can bring the forearms parallel to each other as much as you can. And you're going to tuck the toes and lift the hips up. And this can be your Pinchamayurasana, coming into a dolphin-like shape where you lift the heels, shift the gaze in between the forearms, and walk the feet as close as you can towards the elbows. And wherever you are, you're pressing the elbows into the mat. The knees can be bent here if you need to. You can stay here, or you can move into Pinchamayurasana, lift one leg up, keep the other leg on the floor, bend that knee, and gently push off the floor. You keep pressing the elbows down. Jump off the floor. And then maybe you find some air time. Maybe you bring the legs together. Either way, you're breathing deeply. Good. Nice. If you need to take a break, so good. I see a lot of you trying. Amazing. You need to take a break and then try again. This prep is a really great way to build the strength. Just holding it here and pressing the elbows down. And that pulls the shoulder blades down to stabilize. Relax the face, relax the neck. Nice, Renee. Keep pressing the elbows down. Draw the lower belly in. Find that center line. Feel the center line. So good. Just have a couple more minutes here to play. Good. Do you want to try? Try going up. I'll help you. Good. Push harder. Kick harder. Good. So good. Gaze forward. Yes. Good. Good. The gaze should be in between the forearms unless you're going for that super straight line. Good. Good. Awesome. Yeah. All right. When you're ready, step or jump back to plank. Let's take a vinyasa, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, come back to your knees. We're going to try Mayurasana. You can thank Maggie. So you're going to bring your wrists together. And you're going to place the palms on the floor with the fingertips pointing back. So some say that the wrist should be touching. I kind of like to have a little bit of space and bring the wrists a little bit further apart. That just feels better for me. So just keep that in mind. Okay. It's a lot on the wrist. So maybe for you, your Mayurasana is just this, just like getting comfortable with the hands in that position. But I will say that once you go into the posture, you won't have so much bend in the wrist. So it eases up a little bit. And then first, from here, you're kind of like in a squat with the knees wide apart. You're going to just practice placing the elbows. So you're going to bend the elbows and place the elbows like right into the core of your torso, right into the belly. It goes right in there. And then you engage your abs to stabilize it. Yeah, so you're here, and then strong core, and then see if you can balance lifting the knees. Or maybe not. At first you can try with the knees bent, kind of just like wheeling to the side. Eventually the legs go straight. So just practice that. coming forward, bending the elbows, and shifting the weight forward so that the tops of the arms become like a shelf for the body. Nice, Renee. See if you can straighten the legs. Good. Nice. Yeah, it's hard, and you might like fall over to the side if you go for that straight line position. So if you're here, you can kind of like maybe straighten the legs, maybe not. If you want to try the straight leg position, it's probably easier to go into it from here, like in a plank. You're in a plank position, and then from here, you can actually like lower the knees, like in a plank, a modified plank with the knees lowered, and then you bend the elbows and you shift the weight way forward, so much that the feet lift. And then you can try squeezing the fingertips. Nice. It's tricky. And you sort of have to like engage your abs in a way that we don't really do in any other posture. All right. So obviously if you're pregnant, you probably shouldn't do this. Or even when I'm on my cycle, this doesn't feel good. All right. Maybe if you're done, shake out the shoulders. The wrist. Roll out the wrist. All right, and let's come to a seated position. Unless you want to keep trying Mayurasana. And let's release the shoulders here. So, let's do cross the right knee over the left knee. So we're like in Gomukhasana. And this is kind of like a variation from a Gomukhasana. The full one, if you want to do, is you're sitting on both heels. Okay. And you're going to interlace the fingers underneath the right knee. We'll hold it here for 5 breaths. Good. Where you're dropping the tailbone, lifting the heart. And so I kind of like to use the connection, that bind around the right knee, to help me lift the heart. It's like you're reaching the right knee down, keeping the bind and lifting the heart. Good, dropping the chin. One more breath here. I'll come down into the modified version. Release that, and then you're gonna reach the left hand back towards between the shoulder blades with the palm facing out away from the body. And the right hand reaches back. And maybe you interlace the fingers. Maybe you bind the hands. Not interlace the fingers, sorry. Just bind the fingertips. Good. And then you wrap the elbow towards the side of the head and reach the right elbow up. And then maybe you gaze up. Good, and just feel that nice stretch through the right shoulder. And then also see if you can drop the tailbone and lift the heart. Deep breaths. And exhale, release that. And then we're going to switch legs. So you can just switch right there. And again, you can either have the hips on the floor or you bringing the feet towards each other and the hips are off the floor, which is like, it's not comfortable, but it's not something it's supposed to be. Maybe it's comfortable for some people. And you're interlacing around the left knee, dropping the tailbone, lifting the heart, and settle into the breath. And switch arms for B. Right hand comes from underneath, and the left arm comes from above. You're wrapping that elbow in and then reaching the elbow up. Deep, steady breaths. And whenever you're ready, release that. I'm going to go straight into Vinyasa, step back into a plank, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. And let's lie down for back bends. Bend the knees, plant the feet. Prepare for either bridge pose or Urdhva Dhanurasana with the hands next to the ears. As you exhale, on your next exhale, reach the tailbone forward as you reach the knees forward. And then inhale, moving into bridge pose, just lifting the hips, or coming all the way into the full wheel. Straightening the arms as much as you can, but if the elbows are a little bit bent, that's okay. Moving the elbows towards each other, pressing the feet into the mat, and gently straightening the legs. Feel the length through the front body. One more breath here. Exhale. Come down all the way or just to the top of the head. We'll do 2 more. Inhale, coming up into bridge pose or Urdhva Dhanurasana. And settle, deep breaths. How can you lengthen the front of the body without compressing the back body? One more breath. Exhale, come down. We'll do 1 more. Whenever you're ready, inhale, come up. And then maybe you can even walk the hands towards the feet a little bit if that's accessible for you. So good. Good. Lift the hips, press into my hands. Strong legs. Good. Feels like you're lifting the sacrum up. Good. Nice. Whenever you're ready, you can start. Good. Press into my hands. Good. You can start coming down whenever you're ready. Hug the knees in. Rock up to seated, and we'll do a forward fold to release. If you want to just stay lying down on your back, hugging the knees to release, that's totally an option. If not, you're rocking up, catch the feet or the legs, exhale, fold. Releasing the spine. Lengthening the breath. Just a few more breaths here. Inhale, look up. Exhale there. Let's take a vinyasa. Lift up. Exhale, jump back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. Let's do shoulder stand. Lie down on your back. You can have the legs just above the hips, or you can go for the full shoulder stand where you lift the hips and bring the hands to the lower back. Shrugging the shoulders to move the shoulders away from the ears. Good, yeah, sometimes it's helpful to go into halasana to get the shoulder position and then come into the straight position. Legs are strong, pointing the toes, reaching the toes up towards the ceiling. Good, and then maybe you're moving the chin away from the chest to create some space underneath the neck. Long, steady breaths. Good. And if you'd like, you can come into halasana, bringing the feet over the head. You keep the legs straight, and if the feet touch the floor, you can try interlacing the fingers and straightening the arms. If not, you could also just keep the hands on the lower back. Trying to keep the spine as straight as possible. Reaching the sit bones up. Keep the breath deep and steady. And now, if you'd like, moving into Karnapidasana, where you bend the knees around the spine and bring the knees to the outsides of the ears or towards the ears, allowing the spine to round. Keep the chin away from the chest and keep the breath deep and steady. Lengthening the breath. And if you'd like a variation, you can come into happy baby. And you're going to release the fingers and slowly roll the spine down. One vertebrae at a time. We'll just do one counter pose, Matsyasana, keeping the legs straight, catching behind the thighs, pressing the elbows down, lifting the heart and bringing the crown of the head towards the mat. Keep pressing the elbows down. So you're pressing the elbows to move the shoulder blades in towards each other, so it feels like the shoulder blades are lifting the heart up. Deep breaths. Feel the mind melting into the mat. One more breath here. And then again, catch the back of the thighs. To come out of it, tuck the chin. Good. And from here, let's rock up to seated, or you can take Chakrasana, backward roll. And let's just take a Vinyasa together. Cross the shins into a high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's come to a seated position. You can come into full lotus if you'd like. Wrapping the arms behind the back or taking the bind. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, fold. You can also bring the forehead to a block. Follow the breath. Turning deep into the space of the body as the breath continues to move in and out through the nostrils with your Ujjayi breath, with a tone in the vocal cords. Inhale, come up. Bring the shoulders over the hips, the wrist towards the knees and the pointer towards the thumb. Find a straight spine. Slightly drop the chin towards the chest. Be with the breath. As it moves up and down along the spine, keep the lower belly drawn in and follow the breath all the way through the inhale, all the way through the exhale. As you inhale, moving the attention into the space of the pelvis as you drop the tailbone, press the sit bones down. And as you exhale, move the attention up along the spine into the space of the heart as you lift and expand from the heart. Just take a few breaths like this as you inhale, dropping the tailbone, moving into the pelvis. As you exhale, lifting, expanding from the heart. With a tone in the vocal cords. Stay here as long as you'd like, and whenever you're ready, you can make your way to Shavasana for final resting pose, lying down on your back. Full body relaxation, completely relaxing. Feeling the backside of the body making contact with the ground. Feel the body moving down into the support of the earth. Releasing the tension behind the eyes and in the throat. Feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. If you're ready to start moving out of it gently, you can make more small movements with the body. Deepen the breath. Bringing the knees in towards the chest. And falling over to a fetal position onto your more open side. Whenever you're ready, you can slowly make your way back up to a seated position. Take your time. We'll just sit in a seated position for a moment. You can close the eyes if you'd like. Feeling into whatever's left over. I'll finish with the closing mantra. Swasti prajabhyaha paripalayantan nyayena margena mahim mahishaha go brahmanebhyaha shubhamastu nityam lokha samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thanks for being here in person and everybody at home. Thanks for being here. Hope you enjoyed the practice.